Hey, I'm Gordon Dixon with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram along with Katie Hurst. You know, it used to be when you need to get a ride somewhere, you'd have to hail a cab, hope for the best in finding one, then you'd have to pay with cash. Things have changed these days, right, Katie?
Yeah, definitely. Technology's really started to change the transportation business too. Now you just pull up Uber or Lyft on your phone app and you get a ride from anywhere around town. You pay with a credit card, no cash changes hands. It's really convenient, it's really fun. But a lot of cities in the area are really starting to question whether or not these new technology-based transportation businesses should be more regulated.
So let's go for a ride and talk to some people about it.
Sounds great.
First, we got a ride with a United cab driver at the Omni Fort Worth Hotel near the Convention Center downtown. We asked for a ride to the Kimball Art Museum, a trip of 2.5 miles. The cab driver agreed to talk with us if we didn't identify him by name or show his face, and if we agreed to alter his voice. Why? Because in addition to driving for a regular cab company, he also works for Uber, a form of moonlighting that is against the rules and he says could cost him his job. Why do you work for both?
The yellow cab charge a lot of money. They charge about $75 for taxis for a day. You know what I'm saying?
As a driver, you have to pay $75 a day?
For a car, you know what I'm saying? And then when you look at United though, which was God sent, United charge $40 a day. The same service.
And Uber doesn't work that way, right?
Uber doesn't work that way though. Uber, you gotta get your car, right? You get insurance, and then you join them though. And that's how Uber works though. And they charge you based on commission.
They take what, 20% of your fare?
No, 25 to 28%.
Next, we used Uber's smartphone application to request a ride from the Kimball Art Museum back to downtown Fort Worth. We're waiting on Hector. We just did an Uber request. He's like 2 or 3 minutes away. He has a rating of 4.8, which is very good rating. It's a scale of 1 to 5. So this should be like the best ride of our lives. So Hector, how long have you driven for Uber?
4 months, sir.
What do you think of it?
I enjoy it. It gives me time to spend time with my kids when you know, she goes to golf lessons on Saturdays, so I got the time to take her.
So do you do Uber full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. What did you do before?
I was a chef. A lot of different people from all over the world. I've had people from New Zealand, the UK, Shanghai, Australia, Greenland. That was my most recent one. She was from Greenland. I've learned a lot from them, and as I'm taking people that I know are not from around here, I'm just giving them a little bit of history as we go along.
And you said you were against the city regulating Uber?
Well, I'm not really against it. I mean, if we got to do what we got to do to make a living, then we have to do it. My only thing is if we're going to have to go through the same things as the taxi cabs do, I think I ought to have that right to be able to pick up from the airport.
The Uber trip cost $7.24, less than half the $17 cost of the cab ride. So, Katie, what did you think of those 2 rides we just went on?
You know, they're both really interesting, and I think at the end of the day, the benefit of the cab really comes in. Well, they have to come get you from anywhere in town, whereas Uber doesn't really have to do that. And you can hail them, whereas you can't hail Uber. But I will say that the Uber ride was a lot nicer. The car was cleaner. It was a nice car. There were magazines waiting for us in the car to kind of peruse through. So, I mean, and the Uber ride was half the price of the cab ride for the same distance.
Yeah, it was cheaper, and it seemed like the emphasis was more on the customer, right?
Yeah, definitely.